So right now I am watching WWE Survivor Series WarGames 2024. It's happening right now. The event is starting. It is 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time in the United States of America. We have big matches on this show. It's looking like the women's WarGames match will be first because Liv Morgan and her team are making their way to the ring. Obviously, we have the women's WarGames match. We've got the men's WarGames match, which features the OG Bloodline facing off against the new Bloodline, Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. CM Punk will be teaming with Roman Reigns. They had a very cool segment on SmackDown yesterday and SmackDown last week. Very interesting to see Roman Reigns and CM Punk in the same ring. One day we will see them face off one-on-one. That's a WrestleMania main event right there. And as I speak, they're showing Team Rhea Ripley entering the arena earlier today because the women's WarGames match will be coming up first. Some other matches we have on this show will be Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Championship. That is a rematch from SummerSlam earlier this year where Gunther captured the World Championship by choking out Damian Priest. Well, not choking him out. I mean, it was a legal hold. It was a sleeper hold. But he had some help from Finn Balor, who turned his back on Damian Priest. We will also see an Intercontinental Championship match between Bron Breakker, who is the champion. Also, Ludwig, Kaiser, and Sheamus are in that match. Triple threat rules. There will be a United States title match where the champion, LA Knight, defends against Shinsuke Nakamura, who has been attacking him in recent weeks. So there are 5 matches scheduled for the show. Right now, they're just showing all the participants in the matches earlier today in the arena. They're showing Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso entering the arena together earlier. Jey Uso not with them. That's something to watch out for. Remember, Jey Uso wasn't 100% on the same page with Roman Reigns at the previous Premium Live event. And that caused some problems, and it allowed Solo Sikoa's team to pick up the win. Now they're showing the opening video package for Survivor Series. It's taking place in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. Interestingly enough, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are not scheduled for this show. Their WWE Championship match is scheduled for Saturday night's main event in December, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see an appearance from one or both of them on this show, or even Randy Orton. Because Kevin Owens, from Canada, I'm sure they would love to have him be part of this show. We'll see if they make any appearance here. Also, I'm wondering if The Rock will make an appearance. He made a surprise appearance at Bad Blood. He didn't really say anything. He sort of just stood there staring at Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I wouldn't be surprised if we see The Rock here, maybe even interfering in the WarGames match. Perhaps taking a side. I mean, I would imagine he would take Solo Sikoa's side because The Rock, last time I checked, is a heel. Yeah, so right now they're showing the opening video package. They're showing the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. Just showing highlights from previous WarGames matches. Have you noticed that the Wyatt Six, They're on Monday Night Raw. They had all this hype when they debuted, and you never really see them at these big premium live events. I just think it's funny. Are they just like part of the TV show, like The Miz and Karrion Kross and The Final Testament? They just never show up at the big time events? I guess so. I guess that's their role that they play. Pyro just went off. They're showing the inside of the arena now. We're getting ready for the very first match on the show, which is the Women's WarGames match. That is Bayley, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and one more who I can't remember right now. Facing off against Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae. Oh, by the way, the last one on Bianca Belair's team is Naomi. Now, my prediction for this opening match, it's got to be Bianca Belair's team winning. I mean, you got some of the biggest names in the women's division over the past couple of years. You have Bianca Belair, you have you have Naomi, Bayley, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. That's like an all-star team in the women's division. So they got to win this match. I mean, they have to. Not on top of that, they have the advantage going into this match because Bianca Belair defeated Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw thanks to Bayley. And after that, Bayley became the 5th member of her team. Okay, the WarGames cage is being lowered now. Let's see. Oh, here's another prediction for this match. Io Sky is going to get on top of the cage, put a trash can on top of herself, and then fly off the cage. She likes to do that in these WarGames matches. Here comes Bianca Belair. She is one half of the women's tag team champions with Jade Cargill. Her opponent, her partner, unfortunately got taken out by a mystery attacker. And we still don't know who did that. One day we will find out, I'm sure. I certainly don't think it was Bianca Belair who took out Jade Cargill, because Bianca Belair is one of the most popular stars in the women's division for years now. She's a hero to so many little girls. They're not going to turn Bianca Belair heel. There's no way. It's anybody but her. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Naomi, to be honest. Because Naomi, who is coming out right now, as a babyface, it seems like they don't want to push her to the very top. You know, they've made her a women's champion in the past, many, many years ago. But it seems like they don't want Naomi to be women's champion as a babyface. Which makes me think that she was the one who took out Jade Cargill, and she may turn heel one day. They can afford to turn Naomi heel. Here she comes with the glow-in-the-dark gear. Here comes Io Sky. She is the most experienced WarGames competitor in the women's division, Io Sky. Believe it or not, because she used to compete in those WarGames matches in NXT. She has been in every single women's WarGames match, Io Sky. This is her 6th one, which you know she's going to be flying off the top of that cage with a trash can on top of her head. She does it, I don't know if she does it every time, but she does it almost every time at least. She's going to do it tonight. I mean, it's like a tradition now. Here comes Bayley. This is her third WarGames match. She has the word war shaved into the side of her hair. And now here comes Rhea Ripley. Is she wearing the face mask? Let's see. She's been wearing a face mask since she came back from that attack from Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Well, she is wearing a really crazy mask in this match. I don't know if she's going to be wrestling in that. I don't think she can. Maybe it's just for her entrance. It looks like a video game character almost. Bayley is making her way to the ring. It looks like she will be the first one in for her team in the WarGames match. Remember, her team's got the advantage. Thanks to her, actually. She helped Bianca Belair. Now they're trapping all of the other members of Bayley's team in the shark cage. Now we're going to see the heels come out. Liv Morgan's team. That's one thing about these WarGames matches. The entrances take forever. Nia Jax coming out first. Now there's an interesting wrinkle in this match because Nia Jax is in this match. She's a women's champion. Liv Morgan is her teammate, another women's champion. And their teammate is Tiffany Stratton, who holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. Tiffany Stratton could cash in on either of these women. And I would not be surprised if tonight is the night that Tiffany Stratton cashes in on Nia Jax and takes the women's title. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens and then that leads to the ending of the match. It could very well happen. Here comes Candice LeRae. I'm very surprised that they're using Candice LeRae. I'm not saying she's bad or anything. She's just never been used at the highest level on the main roster. But all of a sudden, ever since they released Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae has been showcased. Here comes Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez coming out together. All right, all 5 team members are out now. Let's see who's going to enter first and face Bayley. It is Nia Jax. Now, we all know that Nia Jax defeated Bayley at SummerSlam to win that title that she's carrying on her shoulder right here. Oh, check this out. They're showing a stat on the screen that Rhea Ripley's team together, total, has 18 War Games appearances. Liv Morgan's team only has 9. Again, I fully expect Rhea Ripley's team to win for so many reasons. Rhea Ripley's team has all the all-star, it's like an all-star cast, and then Tiffany Stratton having the Money in the Bank briefcase, I'm sure is going to play a role in the outcome of this match because it's going to screw everything up. Whether Tiffany Stratton cashes in or tries to cash in, it's going to just throw everything off for her team. And Bayley's team is going to pick up the win. All right, the bell just rang. Bayley and Nia Jax starting off. Nia Jax just knocked down Bayley. I hope they make Bayley look good here. You know, she held that women's title, and it's a shame. Like, ever since she lost that title, there hasn't been a lot going on. Already some miscommunication between Bayley and Nia. Already botching. And now they're calling out spots to each other. This is nuts. Already, we're not even 30 seconds into this match. All right, Bayley hitting the ropes, landing forearms on Nia Jax. Well, I got to say, the very first minute of this match has been very sloppy between Bayley and Nia Jax, who have been at the top of the women's division all year. Bayley has said in the past that it's been difficult to, well, not difficult, but wrestling Nia Jax is a very different experience than wrestling someone her own size. Bayley now standing between the two War Games rings, egging on Nia Jax to meet her in the middle. Nia gets caught, and Bayley tricked Nia Jax. And now Nia is sitting down in the middle of the two rings. Bayley meeting her in the middle. See, the problem with these War Games matches, and I'm specifically talking about the WWE War Games matches, they're so heavily choreographed, they lose some of authenticity, or they lose a lot of authenticity. And it's not just the women's War Games matches, it's the men's War Games matches too. There's too much, you know, pre-rehearsed stuff going on here. Like there's spots being called out that, you know, it's like, you know that so much of it was planned beforehand, which is not a big deal if you don't notice it. But in these War Games matches, you notice it. Everything's so planned out. Because I guess it's just such a massive match with so many people, they have to do that. Obviously, the earlier War Games matches, when it was first invented, were very different from today's War Games matches. Hurricane Rana by Bayley on Nia Jax. The earlier War Games matches were a lot more chaotic and felt chaotic. These War Games matches feel very heavily pre-planned. Bayley just pulled off part of her gear and is slapping Nia Jax with it. Nia Jax is slapping Bayley with Bayley's own gear piece, whatever gear piece she pulled off there. We're less than 90 seconds before the second member of Bayley's team will enter the ring. I don't know who it's going to be. If I had to take a guess, probably Bianca Belair. That would probably be the best choice to take on Nia Jax. Bayley is on the mat. Nia Jax standing tall. Man, there's so many advertisements on the ring itself. You have that big Prime logo in the middle of both rings. Did they have to put it in both rings? Couldn't they just put it in one? And then they have True Classic. Diablo 4. So many advertisements all over the ring. Well, at least WWE is doing very well financially. Less than 30 seconds away from the second member of Bayley's team entering the match. Oh. Nia Jax just went glutes first into Bayley's face. Right into the cage. So Bayley is face down on the mat. And here comes her friend Naomi. Here to help. She's got like a birthday hat on her head. And Naomi is loading weapons into the ring. She's got some colorful kendo sticks and a toilet seat cover. She is beating the heck out of Nia Jax with the kendo stick. And Nia Jax. Uh-oh. Naomi just backed into the corner by Nia Jax. Nia Jax now has to face Bayley and Naomi 2-on-1. They're mentioning how Naomi almost won the women's championship from Nia Jax a few weeks ago. They did make Naomi look good in that match. I did a live reaction to that match on my channel. They made Naomi look good. So they want to keep Naomi at the top of the women's division. However, they haven't pushed her to the championship yet. I guess it's Naomi's birthday, maybe? Let me find out right now. Because everybody's chanting happy birthday. Yes, it is. It is Naomi's 37th birthday today. I'm telling you, she's looked exactly the same for her entire career. Always in peak physical condition, even when she left WWE. I mean, she's just amazing. It's amazing what Naomi turned her career into. She was never supposed to be this big of a star, but she became one. Remember, she was part of the Funkadactyls with Brodus Clay, also known as Tyrus. I mean, she was literally just a dancer. And she's turned into one of the top women in the WWE SmackDown women's division. Bayley, Bayley hitting Nia Jax with that kendo stick. Remember, they got a toilet seat cover in there. And Naomi just put that toilet seat cover right on Nia Jax. And is giving Nia Jax a stink face. Remember, Naomi's husband is Jimmy Uso, whose father is Rikishi. So I guess that was a tribute to Rikishi. Oh, Nia Jax headbutts Bayley and Naomi. And just, is she going to clothesline? No. Oh, wow, that looked a little messy. But they took down Nia Jax. Tiffany, oh, wait a second. Tiffany Stratton wanted to get into the match. Everybody thought she was going to enter the match. Candice LeRae instead ran to the ring. I don't know why they're not on the same page. That doesn't look good for their team. So now it's Nia Jax and Candice LeRae against Bayley and Naomi for the next couple of minutes. Candice LeRae is loading the ring with weapons, steel chairs. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Nia Jax hitting Bayley and Naomi with the softest chair shots you'll ever see in a wrestling match. That was embarrassing. See, that's the problem with these WarGames matches. They're too heavily rehearsed, and then they don't want to get too violent in the women's matches. I don't know why. If you saw the women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year, that was a brutal match. It was a car crash because the women were being so brutal towards one another. But that's what made it entertaining. This is a little bit different here. They're playing this all for jokes, I guess. Nia Jax with some terrible chair shots to Naomi and Bayley there. Now Naomi and Bayley are laid out. Candice LeRae and Nia Jax standing tall. Candice LeRae with a code breaker on Bayley and landed on the back of Naomi. So Naomi and Bayley have been down for most of the past couple of minutes. The heat for this match is like basically dead right now because it's been a little bit sloppy. Nothing too amazing has happened, and everything is very heavily pre-planned, you can tell. So that takes some of the heat away from the match. I mean, if everybody knows like everything's being basically they're just going through the motions, the crowd is not going to be super hot for the match. Candice LeRae has set up a couple of steel chairs in the middle of the ring, and the setup fell apart, so Bayley had to put it back together. Oh, it looked like they were trying to do a 1D. Bayley and Naomi. It just didn't work out because Nia Jax knocked down Bayley. Bayley now being laid across those steel chairs in the middle of the ring. Candice LeRae, moonsault, and it looked like she pretty much missed Bayley. Man, this is a pretty sloppy match, I gotta say. Bianca Belair now entering the match to join Bayley and Naomi, facing off against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Bianca Belair looking for a weapon. She's got a trash can, walks inside the ring, throws the trash can right at Nia Jax's head, slams the cage door in Candice LeRae's face. And now Bianca Belair with a fire extinguisher. See, that's the problem. They play this WarGames match for jokes, and that's the problem. Like, you know, she threw that trash can in the ring for Io Sky later on, because Io Sky is going to use that trash can. We all know that. And the fire extinguisher, you know, is that going to really do much damage? Okay, now Bianca Belair pushing a table into the ring. So many of the women are laid out now. The only one standing tall is Bianca Belair, less than 2 minutes away from the third member of Nia Jax's team coming in. Candice LeRae just sent headfirst into the top turnbuckle by Bianca Belair. And Nia Jax. Oh, this is... Wow, this thing is way too heavily choreographed. And... Wow, they are really having a sloppy match here. Bianca Belair and Nia Jax tried to pull something off with the steel chair. It just didn't look right, but I guess Nia Jax took the worst of it. You know, come to think of it, a lot of times the women's elimination chambers are also heavily pre-planned, and really they just are doing a bunch of heavily pre-planned stuff. Bayley is facing off against Candice LeRae in one ring, and then Bianca Belair and Naomi are taking care of Nia Jax in the other ring. We are less than 20 seconds away from somebody coming out to help Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I'm guessing it'll be Tiffany Stratton. They're doing all these stuff, all these things with the steel chair, and Nia Jax is not actually taking the hits, but is pretending like she is. But it's clear that she's not actually being damaged by the steel chair, and there's no contact being made with the steel chair. Now Tiffany Stratton, bringing a trash can and a trash can lid into the ring. She is the next competitor to enter the WarGames match. There is no heat for this match at all. The crowd is dead. But Tiffany Stratton, using a trash can lid, takes out Bianca Belair, takes out Naomi, spine buster to Naomi. And Tiffany saying it's Tiffy time. She does that cartwheel, springboard, elbow into the corner like Chyna used to do. Now Tiffany has... Wow, that was sloppy again. Tiffany tried to springboard Bayley into Nia Jax. Bayley just paused, didn't actually springboard, and then Nia Jax clotheslined her. Boy, this is like watching people practicing in a wrestling school. And, that's kind of harsh, but if you watch this match, you'll know what I'm talking about. Super sloppy match. And it's just like everything looks bad from all these women. Nobody's looking good in this match yet. Nia Jax leg drop on Naomi. All right, Tiffany Stratton, top rope. And a blockbuster on Bianca Belair. Nia Jax was holding Bianca, so it sort of turned into a Samoan drop as well. Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton standing tall. They are staying unified so far. This is still early on, though, in this match. Ten seconds until either Rhea Ripley enters or Io Sky enters. It's Io Sky. Here comes Io Sky. I mean, people are happy to see Io Sky. I mean, she's one of the most popular people on the roster, member of Damage Control, and the only woman to appear in all WarGames matches in WWE history. All women's WarGames matches, obviously. Of course, Io Sky getting her trademark trash can. Io Sky has a string that she's carrying a personalized trash can with her. As I said, she would have her trash can in this match, climbing to the top of the WarGames cage. Candice LeRae is looking to stop Io from using that trash can. We all know what's going to happen here. We all know Io Sky is going to put that purple trash can on top of her head and then jump onto all the other competitors. Io Sky, they're trying to They're trying to tease that Oh, wow. Io Sky went for a sunset flip powerbomb on Candice LeRae off the cage. That didn't work. I don't know if that was a botch, but either way, Io Sky hits a missile dropkick on Candice LeRae. Now Tiffany Stratton going after Io. I mean, I'd like to see a one-on-one match between Io and Tiffany Stratton. I don't remember ever seeing one. But here we go. They're going one-on-one. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton known for her gymnastics abilities, but Io Sky is known for that as well. I mean, that's basically what some of these matches between the women turn into. Just one girl does gymnastics and then the other girl does gymnastics. Okay, Io Sky just hit Tiffany in the back with a steel chair. That's not gymnastics. Again, there is zero heat for this match. Let me turn up the volume to make sure that's not just me. Yeah, there is no heat for this match. Understandably so. There's nothing like interesting or exciting going on. But we all know this match will feature a trash can spot from Io. Her purple trash can is waiting for her at the top of the cage. Raquel Rodriguez now in the match. Raquel was looking for something. I don't know if she found it. She was looking for something to take into the cage with her. Now Bayley and Bianca Belair clubbing down Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez and Nia Jax taking a bow because they're standing tall. Right now, it looks like everybody's down except Raquel Rodriguez and Nia Jax, who just power bombed two of their opponents. 13 seconds until Rhea Ripley makes her entrance. This is the first time we get to see her compete since she was taken out. How is she going to wrestle in this mask? I'm wondering. Because this mask she's wearing has horns sticking out of it. So I'm a little confused, but less than 3 minutes before the final entrant, Liv Morgan, enters the match. Rhea Ripley trying to bring a table into the ring. This is so funny. Rhea Ripley drop kick to Nia Jax. They haven't built to anything exciting in this match. I mean, the match isn't over, so let's wait until it's over. Tiffany Stratton attacks Rhea Ripley with the toilet seat cover, takes her down. All of the baby faces are down. Now Bayley gets up. She's working on Tiffany. The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome," which I'm a little confused by. I'm not sure what they've seen that's awesome. But Bayley is using one of Bianca Belair's braids as a weapon. Wow. Candice LeRae just hit Io Sky with a kendo stick and it looked like it hurt. Okay, now everything's breaking down now. In a few minutes, we're going to see Liv Morgan come in. The crowd is just chanting stuff just to chant stuff. See, that's the problem with wrestling crowds these days. You usually see that in AEW, but you see it here too. I mean, this is not an epic match by any stretch of the imagination. Nothing that has happened in this match has impressed me. In fact, it's been one of the biggest, sloppiest cluster you-know-whats I've ever seen. It's terrible. They shouldn't even have women's War Games matches because people like Charlotte Flair is not around, Becky Lynch is not around. I mean, they can do some serious stuff, but some of these girls, it just doesn't look right. Anyway, Liv Morgan will be entering the match. Rhea Ripley is standing tall. Liv Morgan is trying to run away. Liv Morgan with a baseball bat is walking to the ring, hasn't entered the cage yet. Now the match officially begins because all women have now entered the match. Liv Morgan's in the cage with a baseball bat. Rhea Ripley is staring at her. Neither of them... Rhea Ripley takes the mask off, so apparently she's cleared and not injured at all. Rhea Ripley just tried to hit Riptide, and now all the heels are beating up on Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton. Now they're holding Rhea Ripley for Liv. Liv has the baseball bat right to the ribs of Rhea. Another shot. Oh, man. Okay, I guess this is the end of Rhea Ripley in this match. Repeated baseball shots to Rhea Ripley. Baseball bat shots, by the way. Okay, I guess that's the end of Rhea Ripley. Oh, look at this. Not Liv Morgan, Io Sky, springboard drop kick to Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton answers. Oh, now they're doing a cascade of moves between one woman to the other. Heavily pre-planned, obviously. Naomi just did an X Factor to Rhea. Oh, no, not Rhea. Raquel Rodriguez. And Liv Morgan hits Code Breaker on Naomi. So Liv Morgan was the last one standing and just power bombs Liv Morgan into the turnbuckle in the corner. Samoan drop by Nia on Bayley. That gets a 2 count. Bayley was able to get the shoulder up right before 3. Again, nothing interesting has happened in this match. I'm hoping something interesting happens with the Money in the Bank briefcase, or Io Sky is climbing to the top of the cage to go get her trash can to do her big spot, and the women are coming into the other ring so that Io can do her big spot. Here we go. Tiffany Stratton is in an opposing corner, looking like she's about to do something as well, probably a moonsault. Let's see if I called it right. Io with the Io with the trash can on her head. So at the same time, Io Sky did her moonsault off the top, and then Tiffany Stratton did some type of like swan dive, it looked like a swanton bomb almost. In the other ring, they did it at the same time, or right after the other. See, again, not a big fan of stuff like that because it just shows how choreographed everything is. I don't like anything that shows that wrestling is choreographed. You know, I like when it looks like a real fight. But these women's War Games matches, man, way too heavily pre-planned. Same with the Elimination Chamber matches. I don't know who's in charge of these matches, but they got to get someone in there. Whoever has the NXT... Tiffany Stratton has the Money in the Bank briefcase. She had it hidden inside of a trash can, I guess. And Liv Morgan and Nia Jax are laid out on the mat right in front of her. And now Io Sky using the fire extinguisher to ruin Tiffany Stratton's fun. So no cash in yet. Rhea Ripley just handcuffed Raquel Rodriguez to the ropes. So that means Raquel's team is down 1 member because she can't do anything now. Which means, you know what that means? That means, as expected, Bianca Belair's team will be winning this match. It gives the other team an excuse to lose. They are setting up a table now in the ring. There's a table set up in the ring. I don't know who's going through it. Samoan drop by Nia Jax on Bianca Belair. And a big leg drop. Goes for the cover. And Bayley and Io break up the pin. And Bayley and Io are staring at each other because because of the history between them. It's funny to watch those two. Because, I mean, these two are two of the funnest competitors, and Nia Jax just clotheslined both of them because they were distracted, making them look like dummies. They should have been paying attention to the match. They got a WarGames match going on. What are they doing? See, a lot of the things that happen in these matches are so silly. I mean, I know it's pro wrestling, come on, but, you know, I'm expecting higher quality from these people. And Nia Jax on the ropes. She's looking to land a splash on Bianca Belair. No, Bianca moves. They're about to powerbomb Nia Jax through the table. Watch this. Watch this. Bianca and Naomi powerbomb to Nia Jax through the table. And now they're going to pin her. Liv Morgan makes the save. So this match continues. She used a baseball bat. She's hitting every... Uh-oh. She was about to hit Bianca Belair with the baseball bat. Raquel Rodriguez just kicked a chair right into Bianca Belair's face. Now Bayley is fighting against Raquel. Liv Morgan just hit Oblivion, and Rhea Ripley breaks up the pin. Liv Morgan hit Oblivion on Bayley with a steel chair. Didn't work out. Code breaker from Liv Morgan to Rhea Ripley using a steel chair. Rhea Ripley now putting Liv Morgan. No. Liv Morgan put Rhea Ripley on a table. She's going to do a oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Liv Morgan was trying to do Oblivion through a table. That's not working. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley on the top turnbuckle. Rhea Ripley about to hit Riptide. Wow, that table shattered. And Rhea Ripley just did a Riptide to Liv Morgan from the top turnbuckle through the table and pins Liv Morgan to win the WarGames match for her team. You know, the smart thing for Tiffany Stratton to do would be to cash in on Liv Morgan right now because Liv Morgan is basically done. The Money in the Bank briefcase is inside the WarGames cage. Let's see if Tiffany Stratton does anything. Remember, Raquel Rodriguez is handcuffed to the ropes, so they can't save Liv Morgan here, or she can't. Now all the baby faces are celebrating. As expected, Rhea Ripley's team wins, and they're getting their hands raised. Anyway, my review of this match is that it was too many heavily pre-planned, heavily rehearsed stuff. and extremely sloppy from beginning to end. The one good spot was Rhea Ripley doing the riptide to Liv Morgan. That looked incredible. Through the table. But other than that, nothing to see. Now Rhea Ripley's team all climbing the WarGames cage. They're all sitting at the top to celebrate their victory. Again, a terrible match, but okay. It's looking like, yeah, I guess there's not going to be a cash-in tonight, people. No cash-in by Tiffany Stratton. Now it's advertisement time for the WWE. You know, they put so many commercials on these PLEs. This is a WWE shop commercial. Elimination Chamber 2025 will be in Toronto, and I believe that will be John Cena. John Cena's last time in Toronto, they're saying. So I guess he'll be at the Elimination Chamber event. I don't like the idea of John Cena doing a farewell tour. I don't know why he's doing that. Like, part of the beauty of pro wrestling is having an air of unpredictability. So when you're saying that you're going to finish your career, then we kind of know that, like, we kind of get a clue as to what the outcome of your matches are going to be, who you're going to beat, who you're going to lose to. No wrestler should announce their retirement ahead of time. I don't like these retirement tours, or like, it's, or like when Shawn Michaels and Undertaker did a career versus streak match. We kind of knew that Shawn Michaels was pretty much done. I mean, but it's like, we don't think that Shawn Michaels is going to beat the streak. I mean, the first time we thought he had a shot, but if you do it career versus streak, then we're kind of like, probably not going to happen. And then when Ric Flair had a career-ending match at WrestleMania 24 against Shawn Michaels, we know that Ric Flair was going to lose that match. He's not beating Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. I mean, that's the perfect ending to Ric Flair's career. We all knew it was the end. See, I don't like when wrestlers telegraph that they're going to have their last match. I mean, if it were me, nobody would ever know. It's like, you should go out with no fanfare. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. And Shawn Michaels didn't even have a picture-perfect ending to his career. You know what the funny thing about Shawn Michaels is? He wrestles against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. When that match is over, he knew that was probably as close to perfect as a wrestling match could ever be, and many people agree. In fact, I have a live reaction to that match on my channel. I've seen that match many times. It is as perfect of a wrestling match as you'll ever find. So if he knew that, he should have just retired then. He should have never wrestled after that. Instead, he stayed for an additional year, had another match against The Undertaker. I didn't think it was quite as good. They used too many finishers in the second match. And then on top of that, the guy comes out of retirement years later to wrestle in Saudi Arabia in a terrible match, teaming with Triple H against Undertaker and Kane. So Shawn Michaels didn't have the picture-perfect ending to his career. I'm trying to think of someone who did. I mean, you know, when Edge retired the first time, that was actually a good ending because he goes to WrestleMania, defends the world title against Alberto Del Rio. They have a good match. He wins, retains the world championship, and then Edge was forced to retire after doctors told him, look, you can't wrestle anymore. And this was shortly after WrestleMania. And then he relinquishes the title. I think that was probably the best way for his career to end because he went out at WrestleMania on top. Nobody knew his career was about to end. He didn't know that either. And it ended. You know, if I were him, I would have just stayed retired because let's be honest, since Edge has come back, what good stuff has he done? In my opinion, nothing. Edge's return to wrestling, I mean, it's great for him because he got to have some more matches. He got to main event WrestleMania again with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. But he didn't really do anything special since he came back. Nothing. To this day, even in AEW. I mean, I'm hoping one day that Edge and Christian have a blockbuster match against each other, like for the world title or something, but I mean, they had a TNT world title match, but I don't think any of their matches lived up to the hype. The next match is now starting. Here comes Shinsuke Nakamura with slightly different music. He will be facing off against the United States champion, LA Knight, for the US title. And earlier today on my channel, I actually played WWE 2K24 Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. I did a bunch of Extreme Rules Iron Man matches with them just to see who would win. And Shinsuke won most of the time. He destroyed LA Knight. So let's see if that happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if Shinsuke wins the title here. Because why should LA Knight hold on to that title? I mean, I guess he's a huge merchandise mover. He's a big star. But having Shinsuke come back just to get beaten, I mean, hasn't Shinsuke already played this role a million times? They build him up a little bit, and then they just have him get beat in every feud. Every feud you could think of. He got beaten in his feud with AJ Styles. He got beaten in his feud with Jinder Mahal. He's got beaten in his feud with Cody Rhodes. You know, it's like, how many times do you got to beat this guy? Can you push him and let him have something? I wouldn't be surprised if they make him the U.S. champ right now. And they could do something special with him. They could turn from the U.S. championship to the Japanese championship. Because he's leaning heavily into this Japanese stuff right now. He's got a whole different entrance. Shinsuke is a former two-time United States champion. This will be the first time he goes one-on-one with LA Knight. Like I said, I would not be surprised if Shinsuke wins this title, and I'm just hoping this will be a good match. LA Knight's matches are typically very mediocre. He hasn't blown me away in any of his matches. I'm hoping this one will deliver in a big way. I mean, the stage is set for them. I mean, nobody really has super high expectations of Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. So they could steal the show right here. You know what's funny? They're showing a decibel meter on the screen before LA Knight's entrance and as he's making his entrance, and the decibel level doesn't change. That really didn't make LA Knight look good. But here comes LA Knight with the US title. I would not be surprised. I mean, I've probably said that a million times already. I'm rooting for Shinsuke Nakamura here. I want to see Shinsuke get a real push, like a real legitimate push as a single star. Because they need more top guys. They need more guys for people like Cody to feud with. I mean, everybody seems like they're second tier compared to Cody Rhodes. I mean, Cody Rhodes is pushed so heavily so that everybody else just looks like small potatoes in comparison. Even though guys like Shinsuke should be right up there with Cody. Like, the only people who feel like they're on Cody's level are Roman Reigns, The Rock, and CM Punk. That's it. Maybe Jacob Fatu in the future, but that's it. Nobody else has risen to that level. And that's the WWE's fault. I mean, it's their job to push these people. All right. Bell just rang. Here we go. LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, United States title on the line. Michael Cole is bringing up all of Shinsuke's last great accomplishments. When he was a Royal Rumble winner, he had a world title match at WrestleMania, multiple-time IWGP champion. LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura circling each other. LA Knight, baseball slide to Shinsuke. They're both outside the ring now. Yeah, this is a little bit of a weird setup because they have the two rings out there. But they have to like wrestle like there's not two rings out there. LA Knight just ramming Shinsuke Nakamura's head into the ring apron. You know, this is reminding me of the video game I played earlier between these two. LA Knight standing tall right now against Shinsuke Nakamura. If Shinsuke Nakamura, who went away for a while because of whatever reason, maybe injury, I don't even remember, but he comes back with this new gimmick. If he loses on his first match back, I'm telling you, I really think everything is set up for Shinsuke to win here. It's almost like what you would call a trap game. Like everybody's overlooking Shinsuke. And this would be the perfect time to just swerve everybody and just give him the title. Why not? I mean, he deserves it after all of his years of work. He's also a former U.S. champ, so it's no, like, major thing, so... This is not exactly a barn burner of a match yet. DDT by LA Knight goes for the cover. And Shinsuke kicks out. This is not like a fast-paced match at all. It's really like they're starting slow here. LA Knight, almost like a reverse attitude adjustment on Nakamura. The commentators are mentioning that the story of this match is that LA Knight is not on top of his game. And you know what? Because they're mentioning that, now I really think Shinsuke is going to win. Because LA Knight tried to do his top rope, jump to the top rope from the ring. And he kind of like had a misstep there. I'm telling you, LA Knight might be losing this title here. Now I'm almost certain that he's losing the title here. After they are mentioning this stuff. Oh, what is this? Well, they just did a real dangerous move. Flipping LA Knight inside out from the top rope. And LA Knight just got the shoulder up after this, like, That looked like a back-to-belly suplex. Nakamura might be looking for Kinshasa. He's standing in the corner. They really didn't build up to the... This is not the end of the match because they just didn't build up to anything. LA Knight standing on the second rope. I'll give a lot of credit to LA Knight for being in outstanding physical condition in his 40s. Top rope elbow by LA Knight on Shinsuke. LA Knight, I think, is calling for BFD here. Shinsuke and LA Knight are in the middle of the two WarGames rings. Wow. Okay, so Nakamura just did like a reverse DDT to LA Knight in the middle of the two WarGames rings onto the metal. Kinshasa. That's going to be it. Watch this. Shinsuke Nakamura wins the United States title. You know what? Not surprised at all. But boy, they made LA Knight look like a chump in this match. He got nothing. That was a very short match. It wasn't good. It was like your average SmackDown match. Shinsuke wins clean. I believe they did that because they're pushing Shinsuke. Part of me is surprised only because I know LA Knight is a much bigger star than Shinsuke Nakamura, and LA Knight is a big time merchandise mover. He's so popular, and to take the title off him like that in such an unceremonious manner, without any build, I mean, I don't really understand why they would do that unless he's injured or something. Nakamura wins the U.S. title. Very underwhelming match and very underwhelming show so far. Right now they're showing a commercial for True Classic. Otis, Maxine, and Akira Tozawa doing a commercial for True Classic here. Well, if they're going to have advertisements, they should use the wrestlers in them. Now they're showing a Diablo 4 commercial. No wrestlers in this one. Now they're doing a commercial for the first Raw of the new year, which it will be on Netflix, and it will take place at the Intuit Dome. Travis Scott is scheduled to be at that show. Supposedly wrestling, maybe. That event will take place in Los Angeles, California. I'm telling you, WWE is doing big business right now, so all credit to them. I will not say anything negative, because even their TV shows and storylines are getting better and better. You know, they're doing things with nuance. They're doing things with long-term planning, but they're still keeping some unpredictability from week to week. So they're doing good stuff. It's probably the best WWE has been in. Probably since 2011. It's probably or 2011. Yeah, that's probably the last time they were this good. If you remember, when CM Punk was doing his big thing in 2011, from the middle of the year to the end of the year, WWE was very good when CM Punk was on top. Now they're showing the UFC welterweight champion of the world, Belal Muhammad, sitting in the audience with a CM Punk t-shirt. Belal Muhammad and CM Punk have been friends for years. I'm pretty sure they've trained together in martial arts as well. Obviously, you remember that CM Punk was once a UFC fighter for 2 fights. Didn't go so well, but he made a ton of money. He got to live his dream, be a UFC fighter. And I just think he started way too old. Like, you can't really walk into that industry being as old as CM Punk was with no professional athletic background. Pro wrestling doesn't count. So, Brock Lesnar entered the UFC older than most people do, but Brock Lesnar is a one-of-a-kind athlete, former NCAA champion. He has been an amateur wrestler his whole life. He's enormous, and he even competed in the NFL briefly. I think he got injured, though, so it didn't really work out, but that's the kind of guy we're talking about. So up next is the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Bron Breakker defending against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. I don't really have expectations for this match, but I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled off an epic match. Only because I felt the same way about the Sheamus Drew McIntyre Gunther match at WrestleMania. Was that last year or this year? I can't remember which year it was, but oh yeah, that was last year. And although those 3 guys are good in the ring, I was just like, whatever, it's a triple threat match. What's it going to be? It's just another mid-card match, right? Well, I was wrong. They put on one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time because it felt like a real fight. And this match coming up just might feel the same way. You got the talent. They got the talent to do this. And they're following 2 bad matches. So would not be surprised if they do a lot better than those 2 matches just did. Still showing commercials here. They put way too many commercials on these PLEs. Okay, here we go. Here comes Sheamus. The Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match is about to begin. You know what? My prediction for this match, you know what it is? Sheamus is going to win. You know why? Because Sheamus has never won the Intercontinental Championship. And they keep teasing it and teasing it and teasing it for years and years and years. I could totally see Sheamus pinning Ludwig Kaiser. Yeah, I just would not be surprised if Sheamus pins Ludwig Kaiser here to win the title so that they protect Bron Breakker. And then you could go into a feud with Sheamus and Bron Breakker, which would be very entertaining. Sheamus is still in great physical condition for a guy his age who's been doing it this long and who's had some serious injuries, including like injuries that could have been career ending, but somehow he's made it back. People insult him for his physical condition because he's not as perfectly built as he once was, but you know what? Good enough. Obviously, if you compare him against a guy like Ludwig Kaiser, it doesn't really measure up to Ludwig. But Ludwig is younger, and him and the rest of Imperium went through a whole body transformation. I don't know how they pulled that off. Like Ludwig Kaiser, Gunther, and Giovanni Vinci, all three together, went and got into incredible physical condition. And I believe Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci had a falling out because Giovanni Vinci made some advances towards Tiffany Stratton, maybe? I don't really... Obviously, none of us know for sure, but it seems to be what happened because Giovanni Vinci is way, way, way down on the totem pole now. Here comes Bron Breakker. Every time I see Bron Breakker's name, I'm like, come on, man. You couldn't have come up with a better name. I know he doesn't want to use his father's name because the Steiner brothers are obviously well established as outstanding wrestlers, but come on, Bron Breakker? You know, I would have, if you want to call yourself Breakker, I would just have him have one name, just Breakker. Just call him Breakker. But I wouldn't call Austin Theory Theory because Theory doesn't sound interesting at all. So, but Austin Theory sounds kind of interesting. Breakker sounds interesting. Michael Cole just mentioned Braun Breaker doesn't have to be involved in the pin to lose the title. Make sure to mention that. And so, like I said, I would not be surprised if Sheamus wins this title. My prediction is Sheamus to win. Sheamus has won several world titles, but never the IC title. Never the IC title. Ludwig Kaiser exited the ring so that Sheamus and Braun Breaker could beat each other up. Smart move. Ludwig Kaiser going under the ring now. Pulls out a steel chair. Walks into the ring. Went to hit Braun with it. That didn't work. And Breaker clotheslines Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser with a drop kick to Braun Breaker in the corner. It'll be very interesting to see the future of Ludwig Kaiser's career. I mean, it's hard for me to see him as a world champion, but you never know. You never know. He's one of those guys, like, I know he can be decent on the... He can be good on the mic. I shouldn't say decent. He can be good on the mic. He can be good in the ring. But can he put it all together? Ilya Dragunov is another one. Dragunov is very small. You know, it's a shame that these guys, like, they have some disadvantages. But let's see if they can turn it into an epic career. You never know. Some people, they turn chicken, you know what, into chicken salad. Or lemons into lemonade. Naomi was a dancer, turned it into a long-term career in wrestling. So there's just people you never expected to be around as long as they've been. Billy Gunn is still going strong. So you never know where people are going to end up. You know, wrestling is unpredictable like that. There's so many stories. How about Cody Rhodes leaving WWE as Stardust and turning into what he is today? I mean, who saw that coming? I mean, it's amazing. That's why wrestling's a great metaphor for life. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Life is very unpredictable. Baseball slide to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker was doing his run around the ring to spear Sheamus, but Ludwig Kaiser cut him off. Ludwig Kaiser throws Sheamus. Holy cow. Braun Breaker did like a shoulder tackle and to Ludwig Kaiser and just northern suplexed him. Braun Breaker has mounted Sheamus and is landing right hands. Braun Breaker's voice sounds just like Scott Steiner when he screams. Braun Breaker back in the ring with Sheamus. Already, this match is better than the previous two matches. You know why? Because it makes some sense, at least. I don't know, some of these people, whoever's producing these matches, I mean, I'll tell you, whoever was in charge of laying out the matches at NXT Halloween Havoc, whoever that was, they need to get that person on the main roster to produce matches. Because I don't know who it was, but those matches, most of them were laid out almost perfectly. So, many of those matches. Ridge Holland and Andre Chase, Tony D'Angelo and Obafemi, Julia and Stephanie Vaquer versus Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Like I said, almost everything on that show was laid out basically as good as you can lay it out. Oh, the 3-on-1. Jasmine Nix, Fallon Henley, JC Jane versus Kalani Jordan. That was laid out well until Fallon Henley got in the ring, and then it turned into something very boring. And then the rest of the show was boring too. Braun Breaker and Sheamus. Sheamus power slam. And Ludwig Kaiser finally makes his way back in the ring, breaks up the count after getting basically annihilated by Braun Breaker. Like I said, I mean, I'm not surprised that these three are having the best match on the show so far, because it makes sense. It's like a fight between these three. That's what it's supposed to be. Pro wrestling is at its best when it seems like a real fight. Braun Breaker jumps from the ring apron, does a double clothesline to Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus over the announce table. Now, obviously, that's a pre-planned spot, but you see, it makes sense within the context of what these guys are doing. Whereas the women's WarGames match had an enormous amount of pre-planned spots, but it was just there to make the crowd go, ooh, ah, and it didn't really make any sense in the context of the match. I mean, so many pre-planned spots in the women's WarGames match, and it was so sloppy that it just turned into nothingness. But these guys are doing a good job. Sheamus was standing where the fans are, where the barricade is. Ludwig Kaiser is now receiving the 10 beats of the Bodhrán from Sheamus. Sheamus now, 10 beats of the Bodhrán to Braun Breaker. This is taking place outside the ring where the barricade is. A nice change of pace. These guys are having a decent match here. Best match on the show so far. Sheamus now, standing on the barricade. Double clothesline to Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser. The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." That I'll agree. Compared to the rest of the stuff on the show, Ludwig Kaiser now has a shillelagh. Sheamus's shillelagh is much bigger than Fit Finley's shillelagh. I mean, Fit Finley's shillelagh was smaller, but probably thicker. And Sheamus and Bron Breakker now. Ludwig Kaiser has been taken out temporarily. So Bron and Sheamus are in the ring. Oh, Bron Breakker landed on the top rope, split-legged. Sheamus now has Bron Breakker on his shoulders. Wow. Bron Breakker with a Frankensteiner on Sheamus. He's looking for the spear here. Sheamus throws him into the corner. Bron Breakker just hit his head with the steel chair. Bro kick. Oh, perfect. So Sheamus hits the bro kick. It looks like that's the finish. Then before the 3 count, Ludwig Kaiser pulls the ref outside the ring. Again, these three are having a much, much, much better match than the first 2 matches on this show. It's not even close. Now, Jesus. Ludwig Kaiser is beating the heck out of Sheamus with a shillelagh. I actually liked what Ludwig Kaiser just did there. They should make him a vicious heel. They should make him a vicious, vicious heel. That is the edge that he needs to get to the main event. Viciousness. Knee to the face of Ludwig. And Ludwig gets the shoulder up before a 3 count. Sheamus was trying to pin him. All right, this match continues. Very good match so far. Good job to these 3 guys for saving the show. Ludwig Kaiser hit a rolling move. Oh, wait. Sheamus has Kaiser on his shoulders. And Bron Breakker spears Ludwig Kaiser outside the ring. Bron Breakker is hilarious because he has like a Goldberg tattoo on his arm. And he kind of looks like a young Goldberg and spears like a young Goldberg. Yeah, oh, spear to Sheamus. That's the end of that. Yeah. Bron Breakker retains the title in a very good match with Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser here. And it made sense because Ludwig Kaiser beat the heck out of Sheamus's midsection with the shillelagh. And Bron Breakker speared Sheamus right in the midsection where he got attacked. Which he didn't get attacked there. He got damaged. because of the shillelagh, and then Braun Breaker picks up the win. That makes sense. Everything made sense in this match. Now, if only everything could make sense in every WWE match. I mean, I wish it would make sense in every wrestling match you ever watch, but I mean, I've kind of lost hope for a place like AEW. But in WWE, they have people who know how to produce matches and lay them out properly, as seen here in the Triple Threat Intercontinental title match. This match was laid out properly. The whole thing made sense. It was good. A lot of times in NXT, they lay out the match as well. So whoever's doing this stuff, I don't know who it is, but they should give that person a raise and have him do all the matches. They're showing a commercial for the 2025 Royal Rumble taking place in Indianapolis. If I had to make an early prediction as to who is going to win the Royal Rumble match, I got to go with CM Punk. And he's probably going to face, I mean, I don't know who, but the biggest match they could make is CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. That is the biggest match they could make. The second biggest one would be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. The reason why I think Punk and Cody is bigger is because I think Punk might beat Cody. If they do Punk and Roman, Roman's beating Punk. So, because like Cody can afford to lose to Punk. It's just such a good story that they could afford to lose to Punk, and Punk could lose it back to Cody later in the year. And they should have Punk be a heel, by the way. So the next match will be Gunther versus Damian Priest for the world title. My prediction, Gunther retains. But the question is how? I mean, are they going to continue this Judgment Day thing with Damian Priest? Probably. I mean, or is Gunther going to win clean here? Actually, you know what? I think Gunther's going to win clean because the whole story heading into this match is that Gunther isn't as good as he thinks he is or as everybody else thinks he is. That's the story. That's what Damian Priest mentioned. He's like the luster is wearing off of Gunther. So I think Gunther's going to get a decisive victory over Damian Priest. And rightfully so. I mean, Gunther is much, well, I don't want to say much younger, but he's several years younger than Damian Priest, and he will be a force in the WWE for years to come. More commercials. I'm telling you, these PLEs, too many commercials. Anyway, I expect the Gunther and Damian Priest match to be very good as well. I don't know if they'll top the match we just saw. That would be tough to do, but still, much better than the first two matches is what I'm expecting. Because the first two matches, boy, that was not good at all. Here comes Damian Priest. World title on the line, people. So my review of this show so far is that the first two matches were horrible. And, I mean, the first match was just so heavily pre-planned and so sloppy. The second match was really nothing special, and they made LA Knight look like a jobber. They didn't make him look good at all. The match wasn't good. It was short. He lost without much of a fight, and it was just like, what? I mean, LA Knight's one of your biggest stars. Then the third match was a bright spot on the show. Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser put on a very good match. Very entertaining. Everything made sense. And that was good. So my review of the show so far is one match was good. The other two were not. And let's see what Damian and Gunther can do here. They have the talent to pull off a good match. So let's see if they do it. I got to hand it to the people at WWE 2K24. Damian Priest's character in the game looks exactly like him. I mean, the graphics in video games are getting better and better every year. But Damian Priest looks almost exactly like he does in real life. And as I was watching him walk out, making his entrance right here, he's doing it right now, I was like, this almost looks like a video game. He looks like a video game character. He has a very expressive face, and yeah, he looks pretty much like he's molded from a computer. He's like a 3D printed WWE superstar. Here comes Gunther, world champ, coming out. It's hard for me to predict who Gunther is going to lose to. I mean, I could see Punk beating him as well. Punk is beating one of these guys, either Gunther or Cody, for that title, but you know, Punk and Cody, that's the better story. That is a WrestleMania main event story. I mean, so is Punk and Roman. And Punk doesn't have a lot of WrestleManias left in him, so they need to get that world title on him as quickly as possible. Who will Gunther lose to? I can't see anybody. I don't know who's going to beat Gunther. Maybe Jey Uso? That would be interesting. If Jey Uso won the world title. Could you imagine? He might. He might be the one who beats Gunther. He might be. I wouldn't be surprised. Jey Uso is improving in the ring. The match where he beat Bron Breakker to win the Intercontinental title, that match with Bron was great. Best singles match I've ever seen Jey Uso have. So could Jey Uso be world champion one day? I could totally see that happening. And you know what? It would make sense. That is why they had Jey Uso lose the Intercontinental title so quickly back to Bron Breakker. And I know it's because Jey Uso also had to be part of this bloodline story. But it wouldn't surprise me if Jey Uso will be the one to dethrone Gunther. That would be huge. Everybody would be in Jey's corner. Imagine Jey Uso versus Gunther at WrestleMania next year. That's probably the biggest match they can make on Raw. Although they haven't done Seth Rollins and Gunther, that is another big one. I don't want to see Seth Rollins win this world title again because we saw him as world champion for a long time and we don't really need to see it again. I mean, it's like this character that Seth Rollins plays is so annoying that I don't want to see that character be world champion again. I wouldn't mind seeing Seth Rollins be world champion again. It's just you got to get out of this character. It's too unserious. All right, bell just rang. Damian Priest, Gunther, world title on the line. Here we go. Will this be the second good match on the show? Let's see. I'm hoping. I am hoping. Gunther and Damian Priest circling each other right now. Man, these guys are so agile for such big guys. It really is amazing. Gunther slides outside the ring. We're about 2 hours into the show. We've got this match and then obviously the main event, which is OG Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and their hired gun, CM Punk, taking on the new Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu, and Bronson Reed. Okay, they're starting this match slow. I don't know if that's the wisest move. I mean, they got to get this crowd hyped up. This is the last singles match on the show before the WarGames match. Gunther is exiting the ring again, trying to stay away from Damian Priest. Gunther slowly getting back inside the ring. He's playing like he's scared of Damian Priest. I mean, that's the whole story, is that Gunther isn't as great as he thinks he is or as everybody else thinks he is, and Damian Priest is going to show that here. That's the story. I mean, obviously, you know that means Gunther is retaining and he's going to win decisively over Damian. Gunther outside the ring again, just laughing. Referee's counting him. And Gunther gets back in the ring again. They're starting this match real slow. Damian Priest with a big smile on his face goes running into the corner to attack Gunther. Gunther gets a boot up. And Priest just dropped him face first into the mat. Damian Priest is selling his left shoulder. I don't know if that's part of the match or if he legitimately hurt his left shoulder. And the ref is pushing Gunther away. And yeah, it's definitely part of the match. Because Gunther just kicked his arm so hard. Okay, so that's what they're going to go for here. That Damian Priest accidentally injured his left shoulder. And they're going to use that as an excuse for Damian to lose this match. That's what they're going to go for here. And Damian Priest looks like he's almost in tears about his shoulder. So yeah, definitely that is a storyline injury to allow Gunther to beat Damian Priest, but still protect Damian Priest's character. Damian Priest trying to get a break outside the ring because of the shoulder. Gunther has Damian Priest in the ring and is working on Damian's left shoulder. Damian and the referee are pretending like this is a real injury. But it's not. It isn't. Gunther once again working on Damian Priest's left arm. See, I don't know if this is the best idea because they're like telegraphing that Damian is going to lose this match, because now it takes everyone in the arena out of the match for him to have a storyline injury that early in the match. So now the whole match is going to be about Damian's left shoulder. I mean, I don't mind them doing that kind of storyline injury thing, but have it happen later in the match. I mean, right off the bat, now the whole match is going to be about the shoulder. Which, that's one choice that they, like, do they really feel the need to protect Damian Priest that much? Come on. Is he that big of a star? You can't have him lose clean to Gunther. Gunther now, once again, has a submission hold on Damian Priest. You know what's funny to me? Nobody's chanting for Damian Priest. I mean, he is the babyface here, but it shows me that they don't really care about this match that much. Okay, right elbow to Gunther. Big kick to Gunther, right in the head. Now both men have been knocked down. They're laying flat in the middle. Damian Priest with a bunch of chops and an elbow knocks down Gunther. I'm going to make a prediction. Damian Priest is never going to be world champion again. I'm going to make that prediction right here. On camera. His initial world title run was not good. And he wasn't really booked as a strong champion anyway. So I don't think Damian Priest will ever hold that title again. But the fact that he was world champion at all, I mean, that was a huge accomplishment for him. Cashing in the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania with help from CM Punk. Hey, that's a story he'll remember forever. Gunther went for the powerbomb. Damian Priest wriggled out of it. Damian Priest might be going for Razor's Edge. Damian Priest has a triangle choke here. Another almost like a super kick from Damian Priest to Gunther. I'm telling you, for a guy Damian Priest's size, he moves so well in the ring. His body control is amazing. I mean, Gunther's another one, but Damian Priest is really, I mean, you should see this guy move. He's enormous. Okay, Damian Priest's shoulder gave out. He tried to do something with Gunther, couldn't do it. Gunther has the sleeper locked in. Gunther hits the power bomb, but Damian Priest kicks out. Damian Priest, Hurricane Rana to Gunther off the top rope. And Damian Priest going for Razor's Edge. And hits it. He's going for the cover. That's not going to be enough. Gunther gets the shoulder up. Damian Priest went for South of Heaven chokeslam. Gunther counters. And oh, Gunther has a submission locked in. They're saying he's got a Kimura locked in. Yeah, this is a decent match. I think Damian Priest is going to find his way out of this one. He's going to find his way out of the submission. Gets to the ropes. Gunther has to break the hold. And a clothesline by Gunther. So again, the story is Damian Priest has damaged goods in this match. Oh, Damian Priest with a huge clothesline on Gunther. Big clothesline by Damian Priest on Gunther. He's going for the cover. That's not going to be enough. See, I don't understand going for the cover. In terms of ring psychology, it's like... going for a cover after a clothesline this late in the match doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. We all know that the finish is going to be some major move or some major submission. Damian Priest, this might be the end right here. He's going to the top rope. Gunther hits the top rope. Damian Priest lands split-legged on the top turnbuckle. Gunther looking like he's trying to do a superplex. Priest was able to push him off, and Damian Priest fell to the floor on the outside. Finn Balor out of nowhere with the coup de grace on Damian Priest. And Gunther just kicked Finn Balor right in the face. Gunther about to win again because of help from Finn Balor. I wouldn't be surprised if Priest kicks out right here. Oh, wow. Gunther gets the sleeper on Damian Priest, and Damian Priest passes out. So, a pretty similar ending to the SummerSlam match. I don't know why they felt the need to do this match again. The match was okay. It wasn't anything special. It was just... why did they need to have Finn Balor come and interfere again? So, the match was okay. It was all around Damian Priest's injured shoulder, and then plus Finn Balor's interference. Gee, they're just protecting the guy, like, and then Gunther picks up the win as expected. So again, the only highlight of this show so far, Sheamus, Ludwig, Kaiser, Bron Breakker having a very good match. Nothing else was noteworthy on this show so far. They have a commercial for next month's Saturday night's main event. Obviously, that will be main evented by Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens for the WWE title. I wish Kevin Owens would win that match, but they're not going to put that title on him. They're not going to put that title on him yet. They're not going to have Kevin beat Cody. But I wish they would switch the title to Kevin and then just have him lose to Cody before WrestleMania next year, so that Cody could face CM Punk or whoever. The finals of the Women's United States Championship Tournament will take place at Saturday night's main event. My prediction is that Chelsea Green will win. There are 3 women still left. Bayley, Meechin, and Chelsea Green are in the quarterfinals, or I should say semifinals. The 4th woman will be determined between Elektra Lopez, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. Wow, they're going to do Saturday night's main event on NBC, 8 o'clock at night, Eastern Time on December 14th. That's interesting. They'll also have it on Peacock here in the United States, but the fact that they're going to be on primetime television, well, it's big-time stuff for WWE in this era. They're just doing a great job, WWE, with everything they do these days. They could put on some better matches, though. I mean, tonight, there was only one good match so far. But we have the main event coming up, the WarGames match. I expect it to be very entertaining and newsworthy. And also, they're advertising for Raw the New Day's 10-year anniversary, which I fully expect the New Day to completely break up. And they're saying the Intercontinental Championship Tournament for the Women's Intercontinental title begins on Monday. One more match left on this show. I don't know. I think they're going to do a lot more pre-planned stuff, just like the women's WarGames match, because if you remember the men's WarGames match last year, it was a lot of pre-planned stuff and silliness. I just expect this one to be better. I'm hoping it's better just because, Punk is involved. And that's pretty much why. Punk is involved. So, Punk... has CM Punk ever been in a WarGames match? I don't think so. No, I don't think this is his first one. Sami Zayn looks like the last person who would ever be a pro wrestler. But Sami Zayn is one of my favorites. I think he's amazing. I think he's done extremely well throughout his career. And he's a heck of an athlete. He's so athletic. He's deceptively athletic. But man, you have Sami Zayn walk down the street, and if you told me that guy was a pro wrestler, I'd be like, what are you talking about? CM Punk in a WarGames match. You know CM Punk is a student of the game. He's probably seen every single War Games match from WCW. So I gotta believe he does some good stuff here. I'm putting my faith in Punk to turn this match into something great. And also, Jacob Fatu could do some crazy stuff. This match has the potential to be truly epic and memorable with the people involved. Let's see if they deliver on that. Otherwise, this could wind up being just a one-match recommendation for this show. Man, they're showing so many commercials. It's almost nauseating the amount of advertisements that are getting thrown at me, considering I'm watching this on a paid subscription service. They should outlaw this kind of stuff. I fully expect the CM Punk War Games team to win because no other result makes sense. I mean, people are talking about there's going to be a betrayal or something. It's like, I mean, I shouldn't say people. I mean, that's like something that could happen. There could be a betrayal on the Roman Reigns team from somebody, but who in the world would side with Solo Sikoa? I mean, also because last night on SmackDown, CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman had a segment saying that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor for helping Roman Reigns' team in this War Games match. So with that in mind, I fully expect CM Punk's team to win here. They're lowering the War Games cage. I expect CM Punk to have a lot of fun in this match. He's probably always wanted to be in a War Games match. I just hope he doesn't get injured. That's all. He's been injured way too many times. What I would do with CM Punk is have him have this match, and then his next match should be at the Royal Rumble. In the Royal Rumble match. And he should win, and then keep him fresh until WrestleMania, where he can compete for the world title in the main event of WrestleMania. That's how I would handle CM Punk for the next few months. They just mentioned that if you're in the match and you escape the cage after the match begins, your team forfeits the WarGames match. I would hate to see this match end on a forfeit. This Bloodline Civil War thing has been going on all year, and it should end right now. It should. Solo Sikoa's team is coming out first. They're dressed in all black everything. So my guess is Roman Reigns' team is going to be all red. Oh, that's right. Solo Sikoa has that necklace that Roman Reigns really wants. I'm going to guess that Roman Reigns gets that necklace back tonight. Tama Tonga will be starting this match. Tama Tonga looks so much younger than he actually is. Let me see how old Tama Tonga is. Exactly. I know he's in his 40s. He is 42 years old, and he looks like he's in his 20s. Man, we should all have those Samoan genetics, huh? Tama Tonga is one interesting character. He is in incredible physical condition for a guy his age, and he is very aggressive and vicious in the ring. And he deserves to be in the main event. I mean, the guy is such an interesting character. Here comes Sami Zayn coming out first. The Honorary Uso, Sami Uso, coming out in the red. Oh, that's right. This event is taking place in Canada. Sami Zayn, obviously beloved in Canada. Here comes Jimmy Uso. Sami Zayn dancing to Jimmy Uso's theme song. It's got a good beat. I'll give them that. CM Punk coming out third. That's really weird. Why? Why are you going to have Jey Uso come out after Punk? Yo, CM Punk reaching through the shark cage where Solo Sikoa's team is, teasing them because they're already locked in the cage. I've always wanted to see CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. Right now they're on the same team though. It'll be fun to see them in the same match together. But I want to see Punk versus Sami Zayn, Punk versus Kevin Owens. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. Jey Uso is coming out last. And I guess he's going to be entering through the crowd. That's why he's coming out last. And also because Jey Uso's entrance is a whole crowd related thing. They could have had Jey Uso come out first, yo. But again, they might be having Jey Uso come out last because they're priming him to become world champion at some point next year. Could be. He's another guy who sells a lot of merchandise. So Jey Uso will be coming out first for Roman Reigns' team because there are locking Punk, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and Roman in the cage already. So Jey Uso's coming out first and he's entering first. No, Roman Reigns staring at Punk. Jey Uso entering from the concourse area in the arena. Jey Uso and Tama Tonga will start off first. The match has started. Jey Uso approaching Tama Tonga with caution. Tama Tonga is standing on the top turnbuckle. Jey Uso and Tama Tonga haven't made contact yet. Tama Tonga is on his hands and knees. He's basically approaching Jey Uso like John Jones does when he's in the octagon. I think he approached Rampage Jackson that way in the UFC. Okay, now they're both on their feet. Jey Uso landing right hands. Oh, big shot by Jey to Tama Tonga. See, the difference between Jey Uso and Tama Tonga is that Jey Uso is very theatrical with his offense. Tama Tonga is very aggressive and almost like he's wrestling strong style. That's what it looks like. Like what he does, it looks like it actually hurts. The stuff that Jey Uso does doesn't look like it hurts at all. The fans are cheering for Sami Uso and CM Punk. Jey Uso landing right hands on Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga went for a cover. The match doesn't actually start until all 10 guys are in the ring. And the fans are calling out Tama Tonga for not knowing the rules of the match. And Roman Reigns' team is laughing. man, I mean, Jey Uso and Tama Tonga are wrestling like this is not a serious match at all. See, that's the problem. That's the problem with Jey Uso. Like, the way he wrestles, it's not like it's serious. I mean, sometimes he wrestles like it's serious, like when he faced stuff against Braun Breaker, but this, not this. Bronson Reed is headed to the ring. Now, Jey Uso has to be in the ring with Bronson Reed and Tama Tonga for the next 3 minutes before he gets some help. And my guess is Jimmy Uso will be helping Jey. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Sami. Bronson Reed just threw like 5 chairs in the ring, and now it's Jey Uso throwing chairs at Bronson. Yo, Jey Uso was not the right guy to start this match. You know who would have been the right guy? Sami Zayn. Jey Uso is playing to the crowd too much, like this is not a serious match. That's the problem with Jey. Too theatrical during his matches. Make it look like a fight, Jey. You can do it. Bronson Reed and Tama Tonga should be destroying Jey Uso right now. In less than 20 seconds, Jey Uso gets one of his partners to come in the ring. Yeah, they should have destroyed Jey. See, again, some of the ring psychology. Bronson Reed should have come in there and destroyed Jey. And if you're going to tell me, oh, well, they have to save Jey for later in the match, it's like, well, then they should have put a different order of combatants here. Jimmy Uso is coming out. He's going to help his brother here. By the way, Jimmy Uso, I think, is in much better physical condition right now than he was before he left after WrestleMania this year. Looks like he's lost weight. Whoa. Jimmy Uso with a corkscrew moonsault. You don't really see Jimmy doing stuff like that. But like I said, it looks like Jimmy is in the best shape of his career. That is so hard to do, a corkscrew moonsault. Especially at Jimmy's age, in his late 30s. How often do you see Jimmy Uso doing that? I'm proud of him. And Jey, for that matter. They're at their best right now. They're peaking. The Usos taking control of the match now. Bronson Reed and Tonga are in opposing corners, and Jimmy and Jay are landing punches on them in unison. Very average start to this match so far. Obviously, the fireworks are going to start when Punk comes in and Roman comes in. But I fully expect Sami Zayn to be the next member to come in. Which, they're making us wait. I would have had Punk start the match or something, Well, but I guess they can't afford to get Punk injured, so they don't want him to be in this match that long. The chant that's going on in the arena right now is "This is Usi." I don't think so. This match is nothing yet. Jacob Fatu entering the WarGames match. The Usos are waiting for Jacob Fatu. Which, by the way, these guys are related. I think all of these guys are pretty much related in some way or another, except for Punk and Sami Zayn, of course. Jacob Fatu in WarGames could be amazing. Let's watch. Jacob Fatu is a former a future world champion, guys. He's got everything. He's got the athleticism. He's got the speed. He's got the strength. He's got the size. He's got the look. He's got the facial expressions. He's got the character. He's got the mic skills. He's got it all. And he's young, too. Early 30s. So, Jacob Fatu will be world champion. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who beats Cody Rhodes. Less than 20 seconds until either Sami Zayn, Punk, or Roman enters the match. I'm guessing it'll be Sami Zayn, which will be refreshing. At least he's a different type of competitor than these other guys. Punk was about to enter the match, and then Roman stopped him. And Sami is going in. This is very similar to what happened. Already some tension between Roman and Punk. That's hilarious. That's similar to what happened 2 years ago when Jimmy Uso was going to enter the match. Roman stopped him to let Sami enter. And by the way, Sami Zayn in incredible physical condition for a guy his age. I believe Sami is 40 years old. Outstanding physical condition. I don't know what these wrestlers are doing because a lot of these older guys, look at AJ Styles. What are they doing? Well, Randy Orton too, but he is a well-known substance abuser. But I don't know what these guys are doing to have these kinds of physiques. Sami Zayn doing his signature stomp in the middle of the two WarGames rings. Punk looks furious at Roman Reigns. Big crossbody, Sami Zayn on Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu catches Sami, but then a super kick from Jimmy Uso saves Sami Zayn. Believe it or not, Kevin Owens is also 40 years old. Kevin Owens has looked the exact same way for his entire WWE career. He hasn't changed at all. Maybe he added some more tattoos. That's about it. Much respect to the WWE superstars for being the type of athletes they are. Punk and Roman just waiting in the shark cage. Wow, this is another match with no heat. This might be even worse than the women's WarGames match. I mean, I guess it wasn't as silly as the women's WarGames match, but there's really not much going on. We're all just waiting on Punk and Roman to enter the match. Here comes Tonga Loa. Entering the match. Tonga Loa. I hope he does something funny. Tonga Loa is a very funny character. It's funny how Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa have evolved so quickly into such entertaining characters. It only took them like a month or so. It's really amazing what WWE has done with Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga so quickly, entering the WWE on the main roster, thrown right into the fire, and all three of them are flourishing. That's a credit to them, and it's a credit to the WWE for taking care of these guys. Tonga Loa is bringing 2 tables into the ring with him as he enters the cage. Everybody has entered the match now except for the 3 biggest names: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa. I mean, I fully expect Roman to pin Solo. I absolutely expect that to happen. Roman and Punk are talking. Jacob just threw Jimmy Uso face first into the cage. I like how Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga pretty much wear the same gear, but Tonga Loa wears gloves. Oh my goodness. Springboard moonsault by Jacob Fatu on Jey Uso. CM Punk just angered the OTC. Roman Reigns wanted to enter the match, and Punk just rushes past him. Everybody is waiting for CM Punk to enter this match. Jacob Fatu, Bronson Reed, Tama Tonga waiting for him. CM Punk pulled out a toolbox from under the ring. As you remember from the Hell in a Cell, right to the head of all these guys. And you know, the toolbox is a good weapon because you can hear all the tools inside jangling around. Tonga Loa is taking a beating from the toolbox that Punk has. Anyway, Punk used that toolbox to great effect in his Hell in a Cell match against Drew McIntyre. Both him and Drew were cut wide open deeply, especially Drew. Wow. Punk just did a running bulldog to Jacob Fatu onto the toolbox. And Jacob Fatu is no-selling it. Samoan drop by Jacob Fatu. I'm telling you, Jacob Fatu is being set up to be world champion. They make him look invincible. I mean, when has Jacob Fatu ever looked like he was in danger in any match in the WWE so far? Jacob Fatu is headed straight to the top. So at this point, the only people who haven't entered are Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. Solo is next. Roman will be last. 20 seconds until Solo enters the match. Nothing really exciting has happened in this match yet except Punk bringing in that toolbox and smashing everyone with it. And here comes Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa slams the cage door on Sami Zayn's face. They're going to do this one by one. Everybody gets their head slammed with the cage door. Jey Uso is next. Now Jimmy Uso will be next. Cage door to the head of Jimmy Uso. Spinning Solo. Okay, yeah, the new bloodline is standing tall right now. All of the OG bloodline members are down. Everything's going well for them until Roman Reigns enters. Then everything's going to change. CM Punk is now trying to fight back, but it's 5-on-1. All of CM Punk's teammates are down. Roman Reigns. Oh, look at this now. They are preventing Roman Reigns from entering the cage because Solo Sikoa is locking it shut before Roman Reigns enters. He's supposed to enter the cage in 20 seconds, but he's going to have to find another way in. He's probably going to cut his way through. You know what would be funny? If CM Punk reached into his toolbox, took out some wire cutters or something, gave it to Roman so he could enter the cage. Or maybe a bolt cutter. Okay, Roman Reigns is on his way to the ring. All the new Bloodline members are on their feet, ready to go. All the OG Bloodline members plus CM Punk are down. Look at it. Roman, it would be so funny if Roman rips the door off the hinges. Roman has to find another way into the cage. Oh yeah, Roman is just going to go over the top. I forgot. The WarGames cage has an open top. I don't know why Solo Sikoa thinks he's so brilliant. He locked the door, but Roman can enter in through the top of the cage. He's halfway in. And it shows Solo is not confident at all. Why did he need to prevent Roman from entering the match? That makes him look like a wimp. Anyway, Roman is now inside the cage. All the new Bloodline members have tried to attack Roman. They've all failed, including Solo just now. And Roman now, standing on the top turnbuckle, big cross body, takes down the entire new Bloodline by himself. Well, that makes the other guys on his team look like wimps because they were all in there. They couldn't do anything to any of them. I guess they want to make Roman look great, huh? You got to make Roman look good. That's what they told CM Punk before his 3-on-1 handicap match against The Shield back in 2013 at TLC. Good match, by the way. And Punk's job was to win the match, but make Roman look good. And they're making Roman look good here. Roman helping his teammates to their feet. He helped Jimmy and Jay. Not helping Punk. And he's going to help Sami. You know what's so funny? He helps Sami to his feet. Sami. Of all people. Now Punk and Roman facing off in the WarGames cage. And Paul Heyman walking out to ringside. Paul Heyman. Okay, now the match is starting. All 10 men are in the ring. Punk and Roman are staring at each other, and Paul Heyman just implored them to work together to take down the new bloodline. All right, now all 10 guys are on their feet, ready to go. I fully expect Roman Reigns' team to destroy the new bloodline now. Because for the whole match, the new bloodline has been made to look good. Now it's time to destroy them decisively. All 10 guys were fighting between the two WarGames rings. Now they pair off. Punk is with Jacob Fatu. Sami is with Bronson Reed. Roman is with Solo. Tonga is with Jay. Jimmy is with Tongaloa. Uso splash. Stereo splashes onto Tongaloa and Tonga. Jacob Fatu and Solo coming to save their teammates. Punk and Reigns are down in the other ring. Solo Sikoa has the Samoan spike ready for Roman. Didn't work. Roman accidentally speared CM Punk because Solo moved out of the way. So are we going for Roman and Punk at Mania next year? Is that what we're going for? Solo almost pinned Roman. Death Valley Driver by Bronson Reed on CM Punk. Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu, it looks like he hurt his knee trying to do a moonsault onto CM Punk. I don't know if that's a storyline injury or... But it looked like he messed up the moonsault there. Roman Reigns just low-blowed Jacob Fatu, speared Solo Sikoa, got a super kick to to Roman Reigns from Bronson Reed. Uh-oh. Bronson Reed putting Roman on the table. Bronson Reed is going to the top of the cage. This is so dangerous. He's going to do a tsunami to Roman Reigns, but Roman is going to move. Watch. And Bronson is going to go right through the table. Punk just saved Roman Reigns. And Bronson Reed went through that table, and that thing exploded. So... right in the nick of time, by the way. Crowd chanting for CM Punk now. He saved Roman Reigns. There's a great story being told here. Punk is staring at Roman. Roman holding out his hand for Punk. And now Punk stands up. Jacob Fatu attacks Roman and Punk. Oh, Superman punch by Roman on Fatu. Samoan Spike. And Jey Uso saves the match with a super kick to Solo. I mean, the highlight of the match is obviously the interactions between Roman and Punk. It's almost like the Bloodline versus New Bloodline storyline is taking a backseat. $1D by the Usos to Fatu. They just put Jacob Fatu on a table, the Jey Uso did. Jimmy is perched near the top turnbuckle. Sami Zayn hits Blue Thunder Bomb on Tonga. Now Jimmy Uso. Is he going to hit? Oh, Jimmy Uso is going to climb to the top of the cage. And he's going to do an Uso splash through Jacob Fatu. Uso splash to Fatu through a table. Man, those are some rough table spots they just did, and they executed them with pinpoint accuracy. Sami Zayn back on his feet, picking up Jimmy. Sami picking up Jimmy. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome." This is okay. I think this is the second best match on the show so far, behind the Sheamus, Ludwig, Kaiser, Bron Breakker match. Sami lifting up CM Punk. Okay, the OG Bloodline team is back on their feet. All the other guys on their on the other team are down. Solo Sikoa is cornered, and they're all going to take their turns doing their finishing moves, and that's going to be the end of Solo. In theory, unless there's a swerve coming. You know what this scene reminds me of? Solo staring at the 5 opponents that he has. This is like Stringer Bell in the show The Wire, facing off against Omar and that guy with the bow tie, knowing that the end is near. Solo Sikoa went for the Samoan spike and getting super kicks from the Usos. Sami Zayn gonna hit Haluva kick. Haluva kick on Solo Sikoa. Sami tosses Solo to Punk. GTS. And a spear to Solo. Roman goes for the cover. Roman Reigns pins Solo Sikoa, as I predicted, to win the WarGames match. So Roman's team was all on the same page, and they got it done. The OG bloodline all hugging. Punk by himself. And now Roman's team members celebrating with Punk separately. So Punk and Roman not quite best friends yet. Roman Reigns holding out his hand for CM Punk to shake his hand. And they do. That's like 2 Marvel superheroes shaking hands. That's like Captain America and Iron Man shaking hands. And the OG bloodline puts their ones in the air. Punk with the go to sleep sign. celebrating their win. My guess is they're going to do Roman versus Solo one-on-one at the Rumble or at Saturday night's main event. And that's when Roman Reigns will get his necklace back because he didn't get it back tonight. He should just take it wherever it is. CM Punk hugging Paul Heyman. And so we don't know what favor Paul Heyman owes Punk, but we'll find out. Watch, we're going to have to wait 2 years to find out what that favor is about. It probably has something to do with when Roman becomes champion again, Punk wants a shot at the title. And then that will be your WrestleMania main event in 2 years. Or hopefully 1 year. Hopefully we won't have to wait that long. Or if there's ever a match between Punk and Roman, that Paul Heyman has to be on Punk's side or something like that. That's probably, it has something to do with Roman and the title, I'm sure. Roman, Punk, the Usos, Sami Zayn exiting as winners. They're all celebrating. Punk's already in the back. Oh no, Punk coming back out now. They're all posing. And that is the conclusion of WWE Survivor Series WarGames 2024. My review of it, the best match on the show was Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental title. It was a very good match. Everything made sense. The second best match was the men's WarGames match, mainly for the interactions between Roman and Punk. It wasn't actually an outstanding match. It was better than the women's match because the women's match was very sloppy and silly. But it was okay. You know, the main event was just fine. So there were 2 matches on the show worth watching. The other 3, you can skip them. And thank you for watching.